Hello, today's notes are a lot shorter than last class's was because we had to get through all those tests. I'm not adding more to your assignment today, but I just wanted to talk about something called a second derivative test today. So a second derivative test basically states that if we have a critical number c, if we do the second derivative of it, if our second derivative is greater than 0, then c would be a relative min. And if our second derivative is less than 0, then this would be a relative max. But what if our second derivative was equal to 0? Well, then the test fails, right? And then we're kind of stuck, and then we can't use this method, and we have to go back and use the first derivative that we did last week or last class. So really, second derivative test doesn't get used a lot. It's just an alternative way to get min-max. Last lesson, we used the first derivative, made a sign diagram, and from that figured out where the min and max were. This is just an alternative method to do so. So just to state that again on the next screen, so how would we use the second derivative test? So first you'd have to use the first derivative to get the critical numbers, then you get the second derivative for all the critical numbers, and then from that you would determine where you have a min or max. But again, the problem is, what if the second derivative is equal to 0? Well, the test fails and it gives us no information, and we have to go back and do yesterday's lesson. So next week when we do curve sketching, we'll do the method that we did last time, but I just wanted to explain what the second derivative test is. So just an alternative method to get min-max values, but for the most part, we're going to get our min-max values using the first derivative sign diagram. And then the rest of today's lesson, I have a summary sheet of a whole bunch of theorems. So theorems and proofs are part of this course, and yes, on your midterm and final, you will have to know some proofs. So we're just gonna have to learn them. So the sheet that I gave you has some proofs we'll need to know, plus it just gives you a summary of all the rules we've done with the first derivative, second derivative, concavity, inflection points, and min-max values. So a lot shorter lesson today because I think I gave you enough notes and assignments from last class. So that's all I wanted to talk about today, and then you can use the rest of this time to finish up your work from last lesson. And next week, we're gonna gear up and put all this together and do curve sketching.